I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel.
The Moors have a very rich history, and they ruled Spain and parts of Europe from the year 711 to around 1492. And they brought enormous learning to Spain that over the centuries would continue and have an impact on Europe even through today.
The Moors were a group of mostly black Arabs and Hebrews from North Africa whose civilization and cultural achievements brought significant improvements to Europe during the Middle Ages and height of the Andalusian Empire.
The term Moor was used to describe black people in general during that time, not to describe Arabs or Hebrews or Africans, but just to describe blacks in general. Many people associate the Arabs as being the Moors. Well, during that time, you must understand that the Arabs were actually black people, as well as the Hebrews and the Africans. So the term Moor is really synonymous with blacks. And we would like to point out that we know that black is a color. There's no such race as black. However, we use the term for ease of reference only. We know that most black people in America, whether they know it or not, are descendants of the original biblical Hebrews. The Moors brought many advancements to Europe which were not known during that time, including advancements in the sciences.
These scientific achievements came at a dark time in Europe's history and brought an overabundance of positive change to the region as a whole. The achievements and advancements brought by the Moors span across the fields of astronomy, philosophy, and mathematics, as well as architecture, medicine, and others. They brought new technologies and a new numbering system. Much of these advancements can be attributed to an emphasis on education by the Moors. One of the most fascinating examples of the architectural achievements the Moors brought to Europe can be witnessed in the magnificent Alhambra in Granada in Spain. This fascinating edifice is still standing today and is one of Spain's major tourist attractions. The architecture of the building can be attributed to mastering and usage of geometry and ratio concepts applied to its design and construction. The entire building, from foundation to wall art, is based entirely on a single ratio. This creates a sense of perfection in every aspect of the structure. It demonstrates the incredible architectural abilities of the Moors and was well ahead of the times.
These are actual pictures of the site as it stands today. Almost 1,000 years later, these buildings still stand. Built by the Moors in Spain.
The Moors were also famous for their expertise and skill in the field of medicine. Historian Jose Pimienta was quoted saying as that in the medicine sciences, the Moors made remarkable progress and surpassed the Greek-trained Muslim physicians of Persia, Nestorians, and other Eastern Islamic nations. He goes on to say, Moorish medicine was based on experimentation, reasoning, and observation. Moorish physicians used drugs, surgery, and cauterization. Medicine was a highly technical profession, complete with extensive training and a code of conduct. This was introduced during a time when Europe largely relied on a medical system based on superstition, relic worship, and prayer. These advancements, including the use of alcohol and proper hygiene, were a complete game changer. Even after the Moors were largely driven out of Europe, European medical schools were built on Moorish foundations, techniques, and research. Surely, the medical advancements of today should pay homage to the Moors and the Islamic societies of old.
The intellectual achievements of the Moors in Spain had a lasting effect. Education was universal in Moorish Spain, while in Christian Europe, 99% of the population was illiterate, and even kings could neither read nor write. At a time when Europe had only 2 universities, the Moors had 17. Located in Almeria, Cordova, Granada, Jaén, Malaga, Seville, and Toledo. Universities in Paris and Oxford were established after visits by scholars to Moorish Spain. It was this system of education taken to Europe by the Moors that seeded the European Renaissance and brought the continent out of the 1,000 years of intellectual and technical gloom of the Middle Ages. In the 10th and 11th centuries, public libraries in Europe were non-existent, while Moorish Spain could boast of more than 70, including one in Cordova that housed hundreds of thousands of books. We do want to make this clear that we say this not to bash Europe or any other continent for that matter, but we do want to give an accurate account of the accomplishments of the Moors. And we do recognize also that the Moors definitely have a reputation of not being the most upstanding of people. However, the accomplishments that they made cannot be taken away. The following is a brief list of some of the other accomplishments that the Moors brought to Europe. The Moors introduced many new crops including the orange, lemon, peach, apricot, fig, sugarcane, dates, ginger, and pomegranates, as well as cotton, silk, and rice, which remain some of Spain's main products today. The Moorish rulers lived in stupendous palaces, while the monarchs of Germany, France, and England dwelt in big barns with no windows and no chimneys, and with only a hole in the roof for the exit of smoke. The Moors introduced paper to Europe and Arabic numerals, which replaced the Roman system. Prior to that, the Romans counted using alphabets and not numbers. At its height, Cordoba, the heart of the Moorish territory of Spain, was the most modern city in Europe. The streets were well paved with raised sidewalks for pedestrians. During the night, 10 miles of streets were well illuminated by lamps. This was hundreds of years before there were any paved streets in Paris or a street lamp in London. Cordova had 900 public baths. And you must remember, this was the time before homes had bathtubs and baths. We are told that a poor Moor would go without food rather than soap. All of the information that we say in this video, and all other videos for that matter, can be easily researched. We ask that you please do not take our word for anything, but to do your own research and draw your own conclusions. We thank you for listening as always. The Black Excellence in Abundance channel, where Black history is every day.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, thou art rich.